Hi there, I'm Jonathan McCallum, founder of Catalyst AI, and today I would like to show you quite an exciting little piece of kit. So this is called the Lemony. So it's an AI in a box that sits on your desk. So it's made specifically for businesses that need to have AI not in the cloud, not like OpenAI or those other LLMs, which your queries go up to a server potentially in the US or somewhere else. You're not quite sure where it goes. This is AI in a box that sits on your desk. So all the queries, everything, all your data, everything sits on this actual device that sits on your desk. So it really is made for privacy first, data security first, and just to make sure that you know exactly what's going on. It's very transparent, kind of the thing shows you as you're using the apps, the queries that it's running, and it really has been quite impressive. So I'm going to walk you through the hardware side and then some of the software side on actually how this thing is used. So this is made out of what sounds like aluminium, nice and solid. You've got your 3 buttons here, a screen. This is just a demo unit, so it hasn't actually got anything inside. They did just send me the shell, but I imagine that means that they're selling the units, which looks like it's going well. So it's got a hardware key here. So this is where you can see you can erase. So you could like literally choose to erase the whole thing. For some reason you might, but you have to insert the key first, obviously. It looks like it's quite a secure system that they've actually designed, focused very much on being in person. So any updates that are done, it's actually sent via flash drive in the mail, and you can update the Lemony node like that. So it's not anything online, it really is an offline focused entire product suite that they've put together. So a little bit on the tech specs. So it comes with the one node, which is one of these, is one Lemony node. Comes with 1 terabyte of storage. You can then actually stack these up to 12. So you can actually get up to 12 Lemonies, which you can literally stack one on top of the other, or next to, whatever your preference. And that essentially multiplies what you get out of these things. So with one node, you have 1 terabyte of storage space for your documents. You stack a second node, you get 4 terabytes. You also enhance your tokens that you can actually generate with this, because that's how LLMs work, is tokens per second, how many words you can actually get out. You get around 25. With one Lemony, you get up to 32 and then 40 as you kind of start scaling. But for a smaller business, something like this is good, or a business that isn't using LLMs for absolutely everything. But as you grow and scale, you can kind of stack these up as you go as well. One Lemony node comes with 128 gigabytes of RAM, so that's pretty strong. 256 for the second one as you go as well. It's got 14 cores, quite nice and fast. I'll show you the software. You can actually see how fast it goes as well. So I've been quite impressed with it. You would connect it through literally just USB-C directly to your desktop or your laptop. So it literally is your LLM. You can also connect it via Ethernet to your local network, and you can also connect via API if you want to. So that's where this little internet button comes in, and you can actually turn on or turn off connection to that. And that could be, let's say you've got a field sales team, you don't want them using OpenAI, you want to use your LLM. They would hook into your API secured into this and actually run their queries off your Lemony node that sits in your offices. So they've actually put together quite a nice set of hardware there. The updates, as I said, are also done offline. You get it literally in the mail, and that's where you would get a new open source model that gets hosted potentially, or they've made an update to the Lemony software. You get an actual USB that is sent to you, and you plug it in and do the updates, which are generally taking place around 4 times a year. What else can I tell you about this thing? Oh yes, so parameters. So the model comes preloaded with 3 open source models, all by Meta, which is made by Facebook essentially. Open source, so that's quite nice because it means everyone in the world can actually check it for security, performance, whatever it does, right? So it's actually checked. It's not this closed box of who knows what. Open source, kind of very easy for everyone to see what's going in. So it comes preloaded with 3 of those. And one Lemony node can do models up to 90 billion parameters, so that's pretty big. Obviously, as you stack more and more, you can actually have bigger and bigger models that you can work with, which you might need for potentially more powerful processing, potentially for speed, or if there's a bigger model that you might need for more intelligence. But I've been using this, and you'll check the software demo in a little bit, and it's done a pretty good job. So I'm going to jump to the software side now. Okay, so we've had a look at the hardware side. Let's have a look at the software side of Lemony. So as mentioned, I only have the hardware shell. So I'm logging into a Lemony node, which is hosted online. But for a real unit, obviously, it sits on your desk and is a local kind of machine completely, unless you choose to add it to your local network or give it API access. So this is the Lemony that I've got. So it is the kind of the core Lemony node. You are able to stack them to have more and to give a bit more boost and power. But I've been using one and it works quite well. So the models that you can choose, these come preloaded on the device for you. They're all open source models. So these ones are from Meta, same company that does Facebook. And they've actually released quite a few of their Llama models. There's also DeepSeek, some other ones by Noose Research and Mistral. You also get the 70 billion one, which hasn't come through just yet on Lemony, but hopefully it will come through soon. But I've been using the 8 billion one, and we'll show you the kinds of things that I can do with it. So that's the models that are installed on the device. You then get assistants. So this is like your ChatGPT. This is where you actually create the thing that you wanted to do, whatever you'd like it to do. So it comes with the initial one, but then after that you can create one from scratch, or you can choose one of these other ones that have actually been done. I'll just show you one or two that I've made. So this is for Dynamic Research, which is the demonstration company that I'll be doing today. Just to give it the context of who it is. So this is a bot that works for Dynamic Research, which is a medium-sized market research company in London, and it helps with their tasks, drafting emails, checking company documents, things like that. We wanted to respond in a professional manner, and just to get down to business, we don't need any introductions or things like that. The knowledge base is quite important because you can actually choose the documents that you might have uploaded already. This bot, I'd like it to have access to the policies and things like that. We can actually add that in there as well. And then it's got access to those documents. You can also choose to just let the document use assistant knowledge only. So it doesn't really use general knowledge. It really kind of focuses on the company. You can apply changes there. You can have a little chat with the model here too. So that's the one assistant. The other one I've made for Catalyst as well. I'll talk you through that one in a little bit. Let's have a quick look at the documents. So this is where you kind of upload all the documents you would need. I've got 150 megs, but you are free to upload terabytes, I think, to your Lemony. So there's not a real limit to that. You can just press upload. You can create your folders as well if you need to for organization. Not a bad idea. But yeah, you can just upload policies, knowledge bases, things you might have, documents that you might have, contracts. The sky's the limit, really. And as you upload a document, it generates the summary for you as well. So you have a general idea of kind of what it's about. And the suggested prompts, yeah, I haven't found those to be particularly useful because you generally have your own thing that you're trying to do, but fair enough. So let's have a look at some chats. Let's actually make a new one. And let's see. So maybe we just start with something there to help us write a quick email. Maybe one of our clients, James, has said that they actually can't pay us as soon as we'd hoped they would, and we actually need it before our financial year end, which is next week. Let's maybe get a quick start in the email, and let's see if the LLM can help us with that. And we don't really need to use anything too fancy here. I think we're just going to use generation. We can choose if we wanted to look at knowledge, and we can also choose if it wants to search through documents. I don't think we need to do that. Otherwise, we can let the AI do it, which we'll choose, but I think we can kind of just go with basic generation. Let's see how we go. Okay, that's coming out nice and quick. You can also see the transparency here, which is where we can see the processing that Lemony puts into it as well. It actually chooses which kind of way to go through and then builds and updates the prompt based on what it thinks will actually improve what you've put in. So let's see. Thanks for your email. Is experiencing some delays. Brings your attention. Confirm the expected timeline. Not bad. And regular updates. Not bad. Maybe a bit wooden. Not horrible. But we've worked with James for a while, so maybe we can make it a bit more conversational. Let's see how it does with that. Can be notoriously slow, but a little bit more understanding, but still adding some strength in there. Would you be able to give me a more concrete timeline? And we do need to receive payment by the end of that week. So that's pretty good. Feel free to tweak that, but I mean, that saved you hopefully a couple minutes. And especially if you're struggling on just kind of what tone to use, how strong you can go, if you're not so sure yourself, that's probably a fairly good way to give it a go at least. But let's have a look at something maybe a bit deeper and maybe a bit more involved. So what I can show you here is a contract that I actually had the bot evaluate. So over here, we've got the Lemony tools, which these are kind of standard tasks that you can choose for the bot to do. So translate a document, extract key dates and deadlines, explain a document, adjust the tone. You can actually even ask it to export or to understand and look into Microsoft Outlook, a dump essentially of all the emails that you might have, and then you can actually ask about the things that you've had in emails, which can be quite useful if you've got a big chain going on. But for this specific one, we said that we wanted to identify risks and obligations in contracts. Pretty useful. So it actually extracts all of those and gives it to you in a table. So I've already done this one, just show you kind of how it works. So it loads of context, processes it, finalizes it, and then actually exports it for you. This took from 10:32. There's the contract that I uploaded. And by 10:34, we saw the response coming through. So it's given us this nice table, the type of obligation, who the responsible party is, if there's a deadline, and if there's a severity, and really nicely, the clause that it actually relates to. So if we go into our knowledge, we click into our contract, we can actually see this was the contract that we had loaded into the knowledge base. And then if we split our screen nicely here, we can see what clause we're referring to. So let's see. So there's some initial stuff up front. Client to pay an initial deposit of £200,000 within 7 days. Good to have that highlighted. This is something for them, so they need to provide real-time updates. Fine. No real critical risks, but just good to know is at this point. But here's a critical risk. Termination fee of 30% of the remaining contract value if the client initiates the termination. It's quite steep, maybe. Maybe we should find out where that is. That's section 5.1. Bigger screen might have helped, but this is what we got. So 5.1, termination for convenience, and client shall pay a termination fee of 30%. So it's actually pulled that together quite nicely. We've got the critical risks, and then we've got some more moderate risks, and then some more minor risks. Late penalty fee. So it's actually done quite a good job of pulling those out. This is a 5-page contract. Upload a 20-page contract. It might take a little bit longer, but it actually does quite a good job. You also have your summary and insights over here. So I think that's quite a useful tool in general. And what we can see if we go out here is that that's actually a team chat. So what I've done is I've enabled that team chat, so I can have more people come in and actually chat within the specific conversation. And then you can also ask Lemony itself. So anyone can actually ask the bot anything more, but otherwise you can chat between yourselves, which is quite a nice feature. So that's the contract side. Let's try another chat, maybe a policy related something. So let's have a look maybe at something like that. Maybe found out you're pregnant. And let's see specifically, let's just look at that policy. Maybe it's not a bad way to go. And we want this for dynamic research. And let's see. We can see the transparency here, kind of its thinking process. It does think it's found some more documents there as well, but I imagine the main one will be the pregnancy one. Okay, let's see. Any documents I need to provide, say medical. Let's see. And you can see here it's actually improved the query. So I just asked any medical documents I need to provide, but to help the LLM, it's actually kind of expanded that prompt and made it a bit more useful. And there it is. We need to provide a MAT B1 form as well. That's something just to help the formalities. So that's quite a good one. You might have your one Lemony for your company of 25 people. All your policy documents are in there, and instead of them bothering HR or IT or any kind of policy-related area, you can have the bot here, and then the knowledge base is there as well, that if people want to go and find it, they can actually go and see where that is. So that's quite a nice use as well. Something potentially on the marketing side, right? Maybe you want to convert a blog, you want to write a blog, just use something that you normally would use ChatGPT for, but maybe you're a bit worried about the privacy side of things. your Lemony is a pretty good way to go. So let's start a new chat for that. Now, I've actually written a blog for Catalyst AI, so we can actually go have a look here. This is the blog that I want, but maybe I want a LinkedIn post from it, right? It's good content. I just need to repurpose it. Maybe I don't need to spend ages doing it. Perfect job for the LLM. So let's first choose the correct one. So I'm going to switch gears. Right now I'm moving into Catalyst AI because this is what this bot is going to be using it for. And we can just paste in, literally copy paste in. This is here's my top level prompt, kind of what I'm trying to achieve. I've written this blog article. Please convert it to an engaging LinkedIn post, and then just pasted that in through Catalyst AI. And I don't think it needs to do anything more than generate. So let's see what it does. There it comes. So using bold, that's quite a good start for LinkedIn. As a UK SME leader, so speaking to kind of the audience that I tend to speak to, that's quite good. And the practical tools, that's quite a nice way to go. So that's a good start for that initial LinkedIn thing. And then as you expand the article, it looks like it's going into benefits, which is quite nice. Got time savings, flexibility, some real world examples. That's pretty good as well. And practical steps. So it looks like it's focused quite nicely on the practicals and the next step, which is nice, with an engaging question. So I'd say that's actually a pretty good effort there. That's not bad. Tweak it, do as you need to, but not bad to kind of get you some of the way there. You do obviously want to, if there's some sort of tone that you want to help it with, that's where you would choose in the bot. You'd actually say we need to make it professional towards this. Here's an example of other work that we've done. You can give your bot that, and it'll help you work with and actually generate text that matches kind of that tone of voice that you've got. But let's say we want to tweet as well. Let's see what it's done. So it's now going to condense all of that down into a tweet, some exclamations, nice and short, some hashtags, pretty good. And let's try Reddit as well. So this isn't supposed to be a complete change, a complete overwriting of human effort. I think it really does shine through very quickly when you can see someone has just pasted this in. You do need to go through and kind of add your tone of voice, add a few things that make it yours, and definitely read it. Never just post something that an LLM has done and just say, cool, just copy paste in and press share. You have to read it and have a look. Let's have a look at the Reddit side. That's quite nice. Curious. It's looking for engagement. There's some information there. Lots of looking for that. And at least it's given that kind of thing of, yes, actually you do work at Catalyst AI. So there's quite a nice way to change it for Reddit. So I think that's actually done quite a good job there too. Okay, so that's having a look at your chats over there. We've seen the team side. So how do we actually invite someone for team access? So you would just invite your users. Here is the website that you would essentially give them to go to. That's this one over here. This is what it loads. And this is kind of where you'd come to. You'd sign up. So I'm going to be Jeremy Jones for right now. Let's see. I'm just going to use my Catalyst email with a little Jeremy there. And that hasn't quite gone to plan. That one. Accept the terms, create an account. Okay. Then we bounce back to our Lemony dashboard. Jeremy Jones is there, ready to be approved. So that probably covers quite a few of the use cases for this. It is an LLM that sits on your desk. You get the privacy side of things. You can see the speed that it generates. I've been pretty impressed. So let me know if you'd like me to set up 1, 2, 3, 4 of these for your company, especially if you're looking to keep things in sight, on premises, and are focused on security and privacy. Thanks. Ciao.